Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. Here we go again, kids.
And here goes the struggle with the phone. Here I am. Oh, good. I have to hand my phone to my husband because he seems to have that magic touch when it comes to finding the lives on my phone. I don't know. It just seems very, very frustrating. So, but today's not going to be frustrating. Today is going to be a really good day. We are so excited. We're going to do some things. We're going to do something new. And Oh, true Gemma. There she is. Oneness. Ron Simpson. Hello. Wayne J. Morning, my friends. Hi, Dana Green. Carolina Dream. Modern Refugee. Awesome. Susan Donahue. Oh, we're going to have such a full house. I love it. Doug Swenson. We're going to be pushing each other up today.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to build the scene here, and then we're going to try to do some healing work. Not try, we will. We're going to raise the vibration, maybe, cleanse ourselves and anybody in the community, and everybody coming together to help heal this world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are. So this is going to be a lot of fun, and I still don't know why I can never get our video. Oh, wait, videos on the phone usually. I don't know. It's kind of a mess.
You could borrow that one.
Okay,
that one's up.
Mike's going to let me borrow his.
Try to get you on this one.
And he's going to try to get me on that one. And Carter, hi, K-Heads too. Salutations to you as well. Yes. Oh, True Gem. A happy Sunday to you too, my dear Modern Refugee. It feels so good to be in the room. I need to be surrounded by this good part. It feels good. Life is hard out there. It's really, really, really hard. And a lot of people are going through it. Boy, we were looking at the news and we were thinking, well, what's appropriate to share since everything is so triggering? It's not like you can really ignore everything. But I guess what helps me is to know, Truth Co-op, hello, is what helps me is to know that, okay, we're making some headway. So maybe, we find something in the news that looks like that maybe possibly we're finding some headway.
Yeah, so I guess it depends on what you're looking at. And again, we're going to transmute and transcend some of this stuff today. What we cover today, we're going to try to have a positive spin on it and see it from a higher light. Definitely.
Yes, there is a heavy energy out there. And hi, Ron Simpson. How are the kids? They are very well. They're napping. We took them out for a really long walk before the show. So I'm hoping that that's going to count towards some nap time and having them be good. And Sir Robbie Berry. Hello. Jenny Pace. Hello. Good to see you. Okay, so this is fun. I think that's a good way to put it, to transmute some of that energy and make it so that it's not so very difficult. It's something we all got to work through. We all have to work through our stuff in some way, shape, or form. So, and interestingly enough, I don't know how many people are blocked. I mean, my phone could never find the live, so.
Yeah, I can't get it on hers.
Yeah,
so now I don't know why, but
we can't get it.
And then my iPad got kicked off from says you're not connected to the internet. What? Yeah.
Right?
We obviously are.
So I know if we're getting kicked off of our own devices and we're the ones doing the live, I imagine there's probably something of a block, perhaps.
Yes. Oh, hey,
Oh,
Doug.
shut up, finally.
Doug is that's mine. Doug just started Wormwood. That's good. What could you expect? Well, you could have a lot of different things. Sometimes you might actually even feel anxiety because the parasites are being killed off. You could definitely have issues with having to run to the bathroom really quick. All sorts of things, but at the same time, it is definitely a good product to, oh gosh, there's so much that it's good for. Definitely detoxing. It does fight the big C, and it will flush out those parasites. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us again today. Frankie the Blue Nose Puppy and Friends is here. Good to see you. Corey, great to see you. You had a hard time finding it. I did a reboot and then it popped up. Yeah, because I've had to. We have 4 phones and several computers up at the same time, and I was not able to find it on Cindy's. It looks like she just found it on hers. So yeah, absolutely. Oh, you're welcome, Doug. It's good to see people, taking control of their lives and, not just blindly trusting. Because, again, when we blindly trust, we are very apt in this world with this system to go straight off a cliff. And obviously a lot of people are recognizing what's going on. And that's great. We got to keep pushing forward. We got to keep maybe giving people clues to, the reality that we find ourselves in. And Elizabeth Jordan, hi y'all. Amanda Evenson, the Happy Hippie Homestead. Love that. The Happy Hippie Homestead. Hello, beautiful souls. Susan Donahue, hope everything is good over there in Cali. We're so appreciative of you as well. Sin Havoc, good to see you. So, yeah, there's still a lot of crazy chaos out there, guys. A lot of crazy chaos. Just wanted to give it a few moments more before we start into the news cycle and then head to our meditation. And, meditation is so powerful. It's so good to see so many people starting to deep dive into and develop a regular program, a dedicated time each day. It is so powerful and transformative. And the reason is because ultimately we are consciousness. We change forms. We have different experiences.
We do. We have different experiences, and we see things from different perspectives. And when we come together, we're able to see those different perspectives. So we're able to see how things are different from someone else's eyes when we are able. Sometimes there could be a lot of trauma and you might not be able to see it through someone else's eyes. And then what do you do then? You just turn around and you continue to work on yourself. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to have this world be a kind of a mirror so that you can bring the most expansion possible. I think that was part of my lesson when I was looking at Source and floating and watching Source. Is that everything in my life that was perceived to be bad or horrible or painful, it was all out of loving myself. It was about me loving me and helping myself work through things, and also Source exploring itself.
Yeah, I've been asked over the years many times, like, where do you go for, healing? And again, it's like, who heals the healer? And so here I am with Mike and Cindy, and they're offering their expertise and their healing modalities. And again, it's an equal exchange. So we get to help each other in this thing we call life. And yeah, it gets chaotic on all levels, and it's great to have somebody that we can, help each other.
It's true. We all need help. We are experts in what we do. However, it doesn't make us perfect, not by any stretch at all. We all need help. So it's good to have somebody really, really good at what they do to come and give you a hand if you need it. And also when it comes to energy work, it's good to get it from a different perspective, from a different angle, because you might work with one energy healer and they're going to do some good work, but guess what? They might not be able to get you from a different angle. So sometimes it's good to mix it up.
Oh, absolutely. Prayers out there to everybody that needs them. I saw Angela was asking for prayers, so prayers to Angela and her family. I want to thank you guys. Your prayers for Neil, who is like a brother to me, and his wife, Leah. Neil is actually doing better. And it coincided, honestly, with when we asked for more prayers. And it's not, that's not a coincidence. That's the reality. When we all start to focus on the same thing, we become incredibly powerful. The dark matrix doesn't want you understanding our power. Again, we can go places that they can't because, if they've traded, it's just kind of like that, old myth, legend story about trading your soul, with the devil, and you lose your soul, and, you gain the fame and notoriety. Well, that's really what we have here with the political situation, with the entertainment industry, as so many people are opening their eyes to, everything that we see popping out about, these people from, the E guy with the island to the PD guy with all his issues, and it goes on and on, knowing, that 46, that wasn't even a presidency. That was just an illusion. I think it's great that people are waking up to the fact that everything is not all right here in Kansas, Toto. It's been a psyop the entire time, but we could take it back. We could take back the whole planet, and we are going to take back the planet. It's just a matter of awakening enough people.
It is. It definitely is, and we can totally do that.
Fortunately for us, we live in a polarity, hot, cold, good, bad, up, down, as I always say. And so for as many people as sold their soul, as you say, in Holy Weird, there are equally amount of people that, if they're not in that positive, the potential is that they can and will raise their vibration. And so today we're doing this meditation to assist in the world and all the people that are suffering out there. And again, as you cleanse yourself, I think I'm being guided to do a kind of like a cleansing meditation so that we can push out any negativity, any blockages, or any attachments that we may have, that we can raise our individual vibration. And then, like a tuning fork, anybody that walks our path, we visualize and imagine that we can raise the vibration of not only our city, our county, our state, the country, and then the world. And so I can kind of feel this meditation it's all like, and you'll probably hear these similar words because it's kind of coming through right now. It's like, oh wow, okay, we're gonna really we're gonna rock the house tonight.
Indeed.
So, as Sin Havoc says, the world is a stage. Yes, absolutely. That is one of the reveals. Modern Refugee, the system exists to perpetuate itself. Oh, Modern's in the house, guys. Check this out. This is our brother, Modern Refugee. This is his first video ever, and, just happened to share it with me.
Welcome. This is the earth. All things come from it, and all things eventually go back to it. It doesn't matter what your religion, creed, belief is. She holds us all. In the averse of that, she can take it all away. There's been so many things lost in our modern era. Skills that we simply have used to live before. And these skills can be used for us to live again, if that knowledge is out there. And that's what my goal is to share the knowledge and the skills to live simply again. This is going to be my channel. And I'm the Modern Refugee.
Damn, that gave me goosebumps.
That was very good. Wasn't that fun, Joe?
That was awesome. And what's crazy is we just were talking about this yesterday, how in a generation that things can be lost and all the natural remedies, and we're talking about the earth and what she has to offer rather than big pharma and all the other things that have been unnaturally thrust upon us.
They really have, in a lot of ways. And then to mix that up even more, what happened is a lot of the books with natural remedies were scrambled, and they were not written like they were. So really, you would want books for natural remedies and solutions written before World War I and World War II. Those were the most accurate, if you can find them.
Absolutely. So again, a great channel. Check it out, guys. And if you aren't subscribed, please do subscribe to him. And while I'm thinking of it, I'll jump over Dr. Joe's 2 channels. We have the links on these videos. Make sure that you do jump over there too. Universal Talking, and that does have some older but very fascinating blast from the past videos and interviews. It's locking up on me over here. And this one is the new one, A Guiding Light. So make sure you subscribe to both of them. We want to also always thank our Patreons. This was our exclusive from yesterday, Galactic Federation update on the true natural Great Reset, because there is a natural Great Reset going on. And we still have a lot of plane crashes going on. Maybe statistically, it's nothing out of the norm. It feels out of the norm. It certainly does. I mean, here's another one. This is in Pennsylvania. It's just crazy. We've seen so many of these. Shocking plane crash, rocks Pennsylvania. Ambulances race to save lives in fiery chaos. A light aircraft crashed into a residential area in Manheim Township, Pennsylvania, near Lancaster Airport today, March 9th. 2025, sparking a massive emergency response. Medics and ambulances swarmed Fairview Drive and Meadowview Court after the plane went down around 3:18 p.m., igniting a fiery scene with black smoke. Multiple injuries are reported as the wreckage, including the plane's tail, landed among parked cars. Some were ablaze. Route 501 shut down. Life-saving efforts underway. We pray for everybody involved in this situation. It's crazy, Look, and this is going over the plane.
We are blocking off airport route down here 501. Oh.
Yeah, saying again how the highway is blocked. When have we ever really seen all this? This right here is an explosion which sets 3 yachts on fire. What happened here? Well, here you go. Three yachts were swallowed by fires, caught on See It to Believe It video early Friday after witnesses described a massive explosion in northwest Miami-Dade. The fires on the Miami River prompted a huge emergency response in the 3200 block of Northwest North River Drive, sent billowing smoke into the air that could be seen from Miami International Airport. Authorities are investigating it as an act of arson. So more than 30 units responded to the scene shortly after 3:30 a.m. Fire crews fought flames and flare-ups by land and by water, spraying foam on the yachts described as 2 60-foot vessels and a 90-foot vessel. After a few hours, one of the yachts sunk. Another was nearly entirely submerged. Third could be seen torched and gutted. Its engine area appeared to be the problem spot as flames would go out and rekindle. No reports of injuries. What the heck is going on there? There's been a lot of activity with vandalism and stuff down in Miami area with boats. Curious. We talked before about F-16 fighter jets going up, and they have again Palm Beach area around Mar-a-Lago after some aircraft temporarily went into no-fly zones. Very, very curious indeed, is it not? These are just tenuous times.
They are. I mean, a lot of really weird things going on. And you got to wonder, I wonder quite often, is there something I'm not seeing? Is there something that maybe, I don't know, maybe is there something good happening? Not that I wish anyone ill will, but for those who are not playing very nice, and for those who, I think we need a level playing field, really, is what we need. And I don't know what that's going to look like, but I do know it's probably going to be chaotic.
Yeah, again, we have to find our people. You got to get out there and you got to look. And I think that I found my people with Mike and Cindy and the people on your channel here. And, like-minded individuals that are open-minded, that, like I said again, hopefully we can raise the roof tonight and people will actually, maybe they'll comment on what their experience is, because if you're open and honest and you're tuning in to this particular frequency tonight, I think we're gonna feel it.
I think so too. There's three of us here. We're all three activated, and we're gonna have a good time. And I think it's gonna be an exceptional meditation, and one that, what's really cool about this too, working in the quantum, you guys can save the clip of the meditation and you can do it again and again and again. Now, I have noticed when I do things, when I do tunings on Patreon, or when I've done them on HeartsOM, they're not always as strong. So getting this first tune here is going to be the strongest, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it again and again, over and over, and just let it cleanse you.
I hope that we're serving a purpose in covering these news events, and that people won't be surprised when more major events transpire, and they also won't be shocked and panic. I do think we are heading into a bumpier time. Especially, I really think especially this period, maybe the next 2-3 months in particular. And if you want to talk about the economy, I would expect April through the fall, October, to be one that's going to be very, very telling. I do think, again, if we could get through 2025 without those dire things happening, like the expansion of the war, some sort of new horrible plague upon the land, and the economic crash, then things could be much easier and smoother, perhaps, than many have expected or thought. But I do think, again, that the biggest challenges are directly ahead at this time. This is kind of ominous, as you have Chinese warships that have been off the coast of Australia. In fact, when we look at it, now the military is saying these warships have been basically circling Australia. Circling. Wow. From February 13th all the way up until now, they've been circling. Again, you got to think, is there something major that's going to kick off any moment? No fear, just as Modern Refugee would recommend, just be prepared.
Yeah, I mean, be prepared, and there's a multitude of things that we need to be prepared for, so don't let that overwhelm you. I do like Modern Refugee's channel because he makes it so basic, and he makes it simple. I know a lot of channels that I go to, they're too much for me. You need all these things, or you got to have these abilities, or you got to have this talent, and no, I'm just not there. I'm not there. I am so basic, and he makes it easy.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, we need more, again, like-minded individuals putting this information out there, reaching as many people as we can, and again, putting a positive twist on some of this stuff. I mean, when you look at it, yeah, it can be horrific. I mean, and it is shocking. Even I've known this, and you guys have too, that this was all coming for a long time. And here it is in our face. And I was told years ago that even the people that are really tuned in are going to be shocked about what's going to be coming out. And so I really believe that those that have worked on themselves and raised their vibration, and even currently today, people that are doing the inner work, are going to be called upon I mean, you've planted seeds, and people are going to come back to you and go, remember that time you said, well, and I've seen this over and over and over, and I think we're going to be needed more and more over the coming months and years.
I think so too, and I think it's a good idea to kind of hit it from that perspective and see, well, you know, what's the takeaway and how can we make things better, and just, you know, not everything is going to be able to be made better, but there's things that we can do to, yeah, everything can be made better. No matter what is going on, there's something you can do to make it just a little bit better. It might not be a lot, but you can do something. You can add love to the situation and make it better. And Tom Weary, come on, Cindy, roar, old time's sake.
Big one. Let's go.
Okay, you guys, hold on to your seats. Are you? Oh my God, Joe's plugging his ears. Okay, because he knows. Roar!
There you go, just for old time's sake. So, you know, Peter says, world's going to end, etc. Yeah, lots of prophecies out there. I think it's more like, was it REM that said it's the end of the world as we know it, but I feel fine? Was that REM? I think it was, right? That's what I think it is. The world's not going to end, but it's the end of a Kali Yuga, you know, so the system is going to end, at least for most of us. I think that's, you know, definite. The world as we knew it, it's over. Yeah, sure. But life still goes on. And, you know, we are consciousness, which is neither created or destroyed. It just, you know, is simply going to be different experiences, different viewpoints. I think we are on the ascension path. So in reality, once we get through the bumpiness, yeah, it's going to be, I think, a much more smoother ride without this dark matrix trying to trick us at every turn with, again, everything that we have been waking up to. The fact that, like we were talking about this morning, even your toilet paper is sabotaged against you. You know, women's feminine hygiene products, Band-Aids, you know, even having, you know, chemicals and stuff that are toxic. Obviously, everything from the fluoridated water to GMOs to pesticides, you know, glyphosate, it just goes on and on. It hasn't been negligence. No, it has a purpose, and that is to keep the lifespans short, to keep the IQs lowering, and so that would keep the control system in place. But, you know, the control system's days are numbered, and they know it. You know, this is why the elites are building bunkers deep underground. These are vampiric parasites. They are like vampires. They truly are. They don't like the sun. The sun is triggering our awakening. The galactic energy coming in is triggering our DNA again to reassemble. As we know, we are a species that has been genetically modified. We ourselves are GMOs, and in a downgraded way. But now nature and the real creative system is doing just the opposite. You know, it's lifting us up, and so nothing to fear.
No, I mean, this is a time where we need to be going within and doing our best to find our true selves, and sometimes that can be very painful. Sometimes that can be not very easy, but in the end, we get our sovereignty, and that's priceless.
This reminds me of... we were just talking about this yesterday. Childhood movies, and like Monsters, Inc.
Oh, yeah.
And so two movies just came to mind as we were talking about this. One was Aladdin, A Whole New World, the song that goes with that.
Yeah.
And then I think the other one was, I think the name of it is The Prince of Egypt. And Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston did a duet with about that, and there can be miracles if you believe.
If you believe.
Yeah, and
Right.
so those two songs come to mind. You know, we're at the end of an age, and I mean, that Prince of Egypt pretty much shows you, you know, the biblical sense where there's a change, and we're in the middle of it, and the transition is such that it might be tumultuous, but once you get on the other side of that, it's like amazing.
It is, and I love the cartoons because the cartoons they tell so much truth. I mean, there is so much truth in that Monsters Inc. And I was really floored. But I was watching a bunch of cartoons not too long ago with the kids and grandkids, and boy, there is a lot of truth in those, and frightening too with the Monsters Inc. because
Yeah.
that's what they do. They scream and then they fill up their food tanks. That's just so wrong, but you know what? They need the food. They can't help it. It's what they need.
Yeah, I think it was our Susan Donahue who said that, we'll look and say to everybody, hey guys, we were there when the change happened. We were actually embodied at that time. Can you imagine? We saw it firsthand in the flesh.
I know Susan Donahue. She's been here with us for a very long time, and she was just one of the first. Says, we'll get through this together, guys. We'll get through this together. And then I continue to refer back to her when she said that. Gosh, I think 5 years ago, a long time ago. So yeah, thanks for everyone's support. We can't do this without you. We're doing this together. It's not an easy job. It's not a popular job. But here we are, many of us are in here due to something that happened in our life, and a truth that we saw that many other people cannot see.
Yeah, this reminds me of one of the times Terry, she was channeling, and all the people, because I really believe we're soul groups and we come back and to help or assist or play the game or whatever you want to consider it. But she was channeling when we were all standing on a shoreline when Atlantis fell and this huge wall of water came and took us out. Wow. But again, this is another time of transition, that something huge is about to happen to catapult us into a better place in space. And again, if you look at it in we're humans and all of a sudden we're going to pass away or pass on. But if you look at it from the higher vantage point, it's like, we were here during those times to help transition the world into this, like I said, like what we're going to get catapulted into. And I really believe that on the other side of this rough patch, things are going to be amazing. I mean, the potential's there, and we just have to be at that vibration, and so we can go in the flow.
Mm-hmm. Nature is such a interesting thing. You watch nature and you watch things get, they build up. And as far as humans go, what I see is humans build up societies until they are so completely complex. The only way they can go is just down. They fail. It's like having too many cards on a card house, and it's just too many. You can't do it. So what happens? All the cards fall, and then they're flat on the table. So you take all the pieces and you start a new order. You realize what you did wrong, and you don't do that. Everything moves actually to a higher order, because those that were on the fall, they know for sure what not to do.
So we had a 4.1 earthquake in Los Angeles. This is always something that we're watching for. San Andreas, long overdue. Cascadia as well. New Madrid. I was thinking, really, truly, I was thinking it was last year that was all going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if it's this year. But again, we can always change timelines. And I think, again, so much depends on the consciousness of humans and how much and how quick we awaken.
Mm-hmm. It does. It is. It depends upon us.
Yeah, in the past we channeled that the earth is kind of like a dog that has to shake off the fleas, and where the negative parts are, the lower vibrational parts of the planet are, it has to cleanse, or she has to cleanse herself. I mean, it is a feminine energy, the Mother Earth. I mean, she's beautiful. You just look around and she takes care of us, and what do? We're supposed to be stewards of this land, and we can do our best. And in fact, I'm going to incorporate that into tonight's meditation, that we can help heal her. And, all of us come together for that purpose, and you kind of return the energetic favor, so to speak, to the planet. Yeah, I mean, this is just so beautiful.
It is. It is.
Absolutely. And so, it's just a wild, wild ride out there. The European Court of Justice has ruled that healthcare professionals who urged or coerced people to take a certain thing, ouch, putting it to the mirror at ANRM. If you reverse that, you know what you know those letters. They can literally be criminally prosecuted. So this is huge. Wow, that's huge. I mean, wow. Talk about a game changer there. Criminally prosecute people that were coercing, nudging. The house of cards, she's about to fall, starting to fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is starting to fall, and I think, we need to be here for each other. I mean, as much as humanly possible, even though we're going through the things that we are going through. You do what you can for your friend, your fellow human, to the best of your ability, and that's what we do. I think as long as we continue to do that to the best of our ability, we will progress.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, here we are. We're taking our time, which is valuable. Everybody's time is valuable because it is limited. And here we are coming together for a common goal and the common good of humanity, again, to raise the vibration, to hopefully change the world and shift in our sphere of influence.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, and as we speak in London today, I should say, earlier in the day, there was a big protest about all those ANRMs. It's part of the turning. It really is part of the reveal. Meanwhile, the South Atlantic anomaly is growing. This is according to Never a Straight Answer. Vast anomaly on Earth affecting America. Yeah, we understand this is a magnetic fluctuation. It's commonly assumed this is part of the it's the magnetic pole reversal and or excursion. We'll have to see how it all manifests, as well as perhaps some sort of crustal displacement event. That's something that many people fear. And, though we've never really picked up any real fear over anything concerning that, because, again, our consciousness is going to change. We are in the process of changing. And, reality is going to change. What's it going to look like? Well, there's a lot of assumptions on that. And a lot of people have different takes on how it's going to happen. It's so large that it's unusual. This is an iceberg on its way to an American state. This is A23A. Now, this has been broken off for a very long time. This particular iceberg broke off from Antarctica's Filchner Shelf in 1986. Holy cow, that was a long time ago. However, all of a sudden, for 40 years, it just sat on the seabed above the continental shelf, too enormous to be shifted across shallow water. In 2020, it finally detached from its position and drifted into oceanic depths. Scientists are monitoring it to see because, again, this possibly could affect, it's so large, could affect global ocean currents and ecosystems. So very, very curious to say the least. And of course, what do you hear here? Well, climate change again, all the usual stuff. But, again, I would also point out the amazing technology that is based in satellites all around the planet, and just tens of thousands of satellites up there too.
Yeah, I mean, this feels very suspicious to me. I don't know. I'm not sure quite what to think about it. It's one of those things that's just like, that doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah, so, trying to filter out like what is man-made and what is natural. I mean, that is a challenge, so to speak, but we're getting change regardless. So we just got to roll with the punches and just do what we can to try to stay balanced.
Indeed.
And then we have that, not so natural spring forward, fall back thing, So here we are, daylight savings time comes, and this article is talking about health concerns because isn't it really healthy? I mean, a lot of people, when we spring forward, just can't catch up on sleep because you lost an hour, and it would always knock me for a loop when I was in the corporate world. I hated it, couldn't stand it. But conversely, I loved it when we did the reverse and I got an extra hour's sleep. Thankfully for us now, we kind of create our own, our own path in life, which is a blessing. And I wish that everybody could have that. If everybody could do their own thing, be their own boss, go ahead and trailblaze your own path according to your heart. That's the way it's supposed to be.
K-Heads too said something interesting, really got me. She says, breakdown of the ice wall quarantine. Is the ice wall quarantine failing? It could be. The ice wall quarantine is very, very interesting because you can head toward it, but because it's a different dimension, it's a different area, it's like you're always going to feel, it's like a mirage. You're always going to be heading toward it. So I don't know, and I can't explain it, but that really hit me. And sometimes, it takes more people to figure out a particular channeling. We all have a little piece of the puzzle, and if we put ours together, sometimes we get places.
Yeah. From what Mike was saying, like I remember the corporate world too, and it affected me exactly the same way. And sometimes you got to wonder, was that put in place to throw us off balance, And I mean, really, where it's at is going back to nature, natural things, and of course they've perversed that word. I mean, they put it in our foods now. You got to watch. Oh, it's all natural. Oh, is it? You know what I'm saying? Like anything that was good, it's just like they flipped the script on us. So, even now I caution myself of what I say because I don't want to be misinterpreted. But, when you go back to the earth and, all of these herbs and plants, and Cindy and I were talking about this earlier, like anything that they consider medicine, it's like a weed. So, well, we got to kill that because it's no good,
Yes, all the pictures of the weeds that are on your Roundup bottle. Yeah, those all have a particular and a very powerful medicinal value. So isn't it so sad that one of the most important so-called weeds became the poster child for this Roundup? I mean, I love yellow daisies. I could never for the life of me figure that out. It's like, why is my grandpa spraying those pretty flowers? I mean, I just could not figure it out. And I love the daisies. They're so beautiful. They start out looking like the sun and they end up looking like the moon, and then they spread themselves all over. They're just so beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. And so meditation, we were talking about meditation, and Joe's going to guide us, but people will have a lot of questions, like which type of meditation is right for me? Obviously meditation is really, I view it as a reconnecting with our higher self in so many ways. Just how do you want to do it? Reconnect to the all, reconnect to everything that's out there that we can't see. Also, it's a great opportunity to purge. It's a great opportunity to build energy, build up your Wei Qi field in Qigong, which again is kind of like your shields. It's your force field. It's everything that helps to keep us safe and healthy and balanced. Because it'll block out any of the lower frequencies. Even certain, again, demonic entities. If we are in a regular spiritual practice that includes mind, body, breath, and some form of meditation, you're not going to be preyed on by these dark entities like somebody that never puts any effort into it.
No, it's important that we do the things to help ourselves process the emotions, because the emotions can get stuck for various reasons. And meditation, bringing the body to a little bit of peace, that gives the brain just a moment to heal. It doesn't mean that all of our woes and all of our problems are going to go away, but if you do it consistently, even just give yourself 60 seconds of a candle meditation, you're going to notice that things around you start going a little bit smoother.
Yeah, anybody that's a energy healer that actually can see beyond like the physical, and it's almost like you have to use your peripheral vision. And we have cones and we have rods in our eyes, and so when you're using your peripheral vision, instead of looking straight on the person, you can see some of these dark attachments, and it's kind of it's exciting on one hand. It's kind of freaky also when you're seeing it. You're going, oh my gosh, they got an attachment there. But when you start to raise the vibration and you're bringing in that healing energy, it gets uncomfortable and they leave because they can't hang with that vibration. It's almost like you're spoiling the milk.
They do get quite cranky and they get uncomfortable, and it hurts, and it's just not an easy thing to go through, because we all have issues, we all have attachments. No one is pristine and clean, no one is shiny like a pure diamond. We're not supposed to be. We didn't come here for that. We came here for, all different kinds of love and all different kinds of experiences, but your experience, you are a sovereign being and you get to choose yours.
So, when you look to meditation, maybe most people will connect it to Vipassana, which is a Buddhist technique. It's mindfulness, and you just sort of just kind of let whatever pop up, and then you just let it go. And just kind of, you're just sort of following a trail, so to speak, without being pulled in. Now, you could do a lot of different things with meditation. Again, for most of my life, one of my primary forms of meditation has been drawing in the life force constantly and consciously with each breath, and not always at the same pace as the inhale of the breath as well. Controlling your breath is another thing you can do. You could do it rhythmically. You could do it to counts. And then again, it all depends on what feels right to you and your personal goals. You'll find that when you look to meditation from a Taoist point of view, it'll have some differences with the Buddhist point of view, which again could have some differences if we go at it from more of a Hindu yogic point of view. And it's what you resonate with. And I've tried many different types over the years, and I know Joe and Cindy have as well.
Oh, there's so many different kinds, and to me, probably the easiest one is in the very beginning, just a candle, because you got to give the monkey mind a job to do, so you can focus on just quieting that mind. And if you just tell the mind, okay, look at this candle, and you take your breaths, that's going to be a start. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It never has to be perfect. Just giving yourself that time, giving yourself that love.
Yeah, the most important thing is to start. A lot of times we make excuses all day long. Oh, I don't have time for this, or I don't have, I've been told this a gazillion times. What are you willing to give up? So if I give up 5 minutes of something that is not necessary in my life, or 10 minutes or 20, what can I do? Can I do it before I go to work? Like as soon as you get up in the morning, at lunchtime, take 15 minutes of your lunch time, and even go into your car by yourself and just close your eyes and meditate. And meditation isn't always like a guided meditation, or sometimes it's just getting out into nature and tuning in with Mother Earth. So there's multiple ways, but I would say the most important thing is to start and to practice, because the more often you do it, it may be difficult at first, but as you practice it, it's like anything else. You'll slide right in there, and the next thing you know, you're getting answers to the questions you've had forever, and you're like, oh my God, wow, I wish I knew about this, earlier in my life.
Yeah, it's something that can really be life-changing.
Absolutely. And so, there's different ways of doing it. And, you yourself will probably, once you get into a routine, find yourself naturally branching off. There is this, I know there's several sayings about the fact that if we're always running at the mouth, you're never going to really be able to hear somebody else. Like, again, if we're constantly talking and drowning out others, how can we really be listening to somebody to give an honest opinion or feedback? Well, it's the same thing with your mind, because most people's minds are constantly rolling without even knowing that we're usually having the same thoughts. It's said that 80% of the time is spent with the same 20% of the thoughts rolling through your mind. Think about how redundant that is. Think about how reaffirming whatever those thoughts are. So, if your thoughts are negative, and again, your focus is negative, and I face this in my own life when I was diagnosed with Lyme. I found myself going on, different forums, and everybody was, woe is me, I have Lyme, I now have rheumatoid arthritis, I have this, I have that, I have now eye problems, I have, all these different co-infections and everything, and that's all they were centered on. And it seemed like everybody on those forums were only getting worse. And I also saw that because at that time, I was working for a pharmaceutical company that at any particular time had at least, I would say, 5 or 6 dozen Lyme patients on our list of regular care. And what did I see? I saw them typically getting worse, developing co-infections, again, because, they're also on these forums. They're also listening to their diagnosis, prognosis. And so when you look at all the stats and the figures and you look at about everything that could go wrong, and that's what's rolling through your head, it's probably going to plant seeds. So a little voice, said to me, you don't have to be sick, and, you don't have to go down that path. And I know it was my guides. So I got the inspiration to, go to a naturopath who was a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncturist, herbalist. And the first session was an hour and a half, and it was all talking about, how's your life? Are you happy? How's your marriage? How are your kids? Do you like your job? All these things that you don't see MDs typically doing. And no offense to Dr. Joe here. It's not typical in the Western medical system. Really, again, one of the biggest prescriptions that my naturopath gave me was time out in nature. She said, do you ever get out in nature? And I said, well, I go to the gym a lot and I get on the treadmill. Well, that's good, but why don't you take your walks out in the park? Don't you live by, a park? Yeah, I do. Well, why don't you take your walks out in the park and just focus on the nature? And again, this is all about stilling our mind so we don't have that constant chatter going on. And you'll find that you'll be able to start to connect to your own guides and higher self.
Right. It's about giving you the time to have something better. And sometimes people might not be able to get outside, but there are grounding mats. There are certain things you could get. I don't have any recommendations. I think there's some earthgrounding.com or something like that. But getting the grounding in is important, even if you have to do it inside.
Yeah, so, we try to stay away from the tech or technology as much as possible because it does affect your vibration. But there is a positive side of it. Like I go out and do these videos. I record them in nature. First of all, I'm in nature, but I want to share it with somebody. So I take my iPhone and I do a quick video. So for those who can't get out, literally, I mean, I've seen all kind of reasons why people can't get out, either a time constraint or a physical constraint, or whatever it is, money. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna try to bring some of this nature to people, and in that way I feel like I'm a bridge. So they can't physically be there, so I can use the phone. As much as I'd like to leave it in the car and just be in enjoyment of Mother Nature, I also feel like I can help other people through the technology that we do have today.
Yeah, it's that catch-22 thing. It's like curse it, but it helps us connect. And I mean, without it, I wouldn't be able to even see my family. I have a hard enough time getting out there, with physical limitations at the moment. But I am able to do something like FaceTime with my daughter and my mom and my grandkids, and so for that I am extremely grateful. I'm able to work on people energetically, because of the quantum realm, and it does seem to help if somebody knows the energy is coming on the phone. It's like suddenly it hits them. They feel all these tinglies and all this interestingness, and that's going to be the fun part about tonight. Is we're going to hit you guys all with some serious love. Love, that's the thing that moves the universe. It's a very important. I don't even like to call it. It's not just an emotion. Love is a thing. It's like tangible thing.
Absolutely. So, it focuses like counting mala beads, listening to a gong, staring at a candle, counting your breaths, moon gazing, any of these things. It could be very easy for us to zone out when we were in school. Completely zone out, almost find yourself out of body. I mean, I do that all the time, where it doesn't take much. And I'm almost like popped out of the body. I used to work so hard on astral projecting, and now sometimes it almost feels haphazardous because it's so easy to get the consciousness disassociated with the physical vehicle. Joe was meditating and then he like popped in, and it was like, wow, give him a few moments because he wasn't here at all anymore.
This is what I was like trying to caution myself about tonight, because as I'm doing the meditation, I'm listening to my own words and I'm getting lost in that, and I'm like, oh wait, whoa, calm down. I'm gonna end up right with everybody else, and then who's gonna lead the charge, so to speak?
Who's gonna lead the charge?
So Joe, would you go ahead and lead the way, and we'll go into this meditative state while that's going on. Cindy and I are going to be running energy, and even though Joe will be talking, he'll still be running energy as well. We can multitask in that way, but it is amazing when we have a focused intent. That is really our secret power of humanity, focused intent.
Okay, is everybody ready? First of all, and this sounds funny, I know people laugh about this, but I always say, especially during a live, if you're driving your car listening to this on the way to work or whatever, it's probably best to turn this off right now and listen to it later. Or you're operating a heavy equipment or anything like that, if you're in your home and, you can relax. In fact, it's a good practice to try to get into a quiet place and space. You could keep your eyes open if you want to, but it's always best to try to minimize the stimulation. So if you can get into that quiet place and space, then we'll do this work. And so, all right, so close your eyes, visualize and imagine that the energy is coming from the highest sources of creation. If you're a visual person, you may actually see this. If you're more of a feely type person, you may physically feel this vibration that's coming through the crown, through your head, and working its way down through you. And so, as we work on ourselves, let's visualize and imagine that we're also treating Mother Earth as well. And we as a collective, with unconditional love, tuned together as though we are these lights, these light bulbs, these nodes, with almost like a fiber optic string, so to speak, or light, body that goes between each individual one of us. And we're all tuned in, and we're all over the planet. You saw people from Peru, from Canada, from here in the U.S., from all over the place that's actually tuned into this call right now. So as we're raising in our vibration, we are pushing out any negativity, any blockages, or any attachments that we may have picked up. And our conscious awareness is that we're going to raise the vibration of the physicalness, and we're going to balance the mind, the body, and the spirit, and the emotional part of what makes us human. So allow these energies from the high sources of creation to come through, realizing that we're protected. We have, whatever your belief system is, we have these archangels or masters or guides all around us. And we're actually being assisted in this inner work that becomes an outer work that will affect our loved ones, the planet, the county or city that you live in, the state, the country, and then the world. So visualize and imagine now that this energy from the high sources of creation are coming through your crown chakra, the energy center. And as you visualize and imagine that, you can almost visualize and imagine that that chakra is vibrating, and all of a sudden you're leveling up or you're tuning up. So it starts to vibrate maybe a little bit faster, and it becomes a little brighter. As this energy flows freely from the high source of creation, from the crown down through the brain matter, opening up that third eye so that you can easily visualize and imagine these colors that are coming through. Be consciously aware of the feelings that you're having, the awareness that's coming through, the pictures that may be coming through. Allow this energy to penetrate deep, real deep, down to every tissue, every organ, and every cell of your being. You can visualize and imagine these cells vibrating and oscillating, leveling up. And again, if there's any dis-ease anywhere in the body, you're raising the vibration to push that out. And as we're doing this for ourselves, we're also doing it for our Mother Earth that takes care of us. Allow the energies to flow freely through Mother Earth. And as we go, continuing down, down, down deep. Again, into every organ, every tissue, and every cell. Allow the energies to flow freely down over the face, down into the throat area, opening up that throat chakra, so that now you can visualize and imagine these chakra centers. They're all communicating harmoniously with one another, balancing out the mind, the body, the spirit, the emotional of the physicalness, and beyond, the humanity that make you you. Allow this energy to flow freely even further down, down, down deep. As it goes down from the throat chakra, down into the heart center. Feel that unconditional love and that connection that we all have right now in this present moment. Sending Mother Earth that unconditional love. Allowing this energy from the high sources of creation, this brilliant light, that if you were able to try to look at it, you just couldn't, it's so bright. And allow the energies again to penetrate every organ, every tissue, and every cell as it continues down, down, down deep. Now we're at that solar plexus region, opening up that chakra. Again, all the chakras now they're vibrating at a higher octave. Maybe a little faster, maybe a little brighter. They're communicating harmoniously with one another. And as we go even further still, down, down, down deep. All of the organs of the body. And we're pushing out any negativity, any blockages, or any attachments. Allow this energy to flow freely even further down. So now we're into the sacral region, that all the other chakra centers can communicate harmoniously with one another. And then even further still down to the root. And as these energies flow freely from the high sources of creation down through the body, down and out the legs, visualize and imagine these energies are going down, grounding into Mother Earth, sending this unconditional love to the central core of the planet, assisting her in this ascension process. And as we're little nodes all over the planet, she feels us, and she returns this green energy, this healing love and light, this unconditional love back through your feet, radiating up through the legs, into the abdomen, and then into the heart. So that you have this mixing and blending from the highest source of creation and also Mother Earth, mixing and blending at the heart center. As you're raising the vibration of your physicalness, you're not only affecting yourself in a positive way, but everybody around you. So visualize and imagine now that we're tuned into one another, because we are. Take a moment and just feel into this energy of unconditional love from Mother Earth and Father Sky. Now allow yourself to take a moment and visualize. Is there anything that you're seeing at this particular moment of now? Are there any colors? Are there any pictures? Tune in to this unconditional love. Now, allow yourself to send unconditional love and gratitude, which is a very high vibration, back to Mother Earth as she pulls her energy back from the heart center down through the legs, down to the central core, as you're sending her this unconditional love. Meanwhile, the high sources of creation, or Father Sky, however you see it, is pulling that unconditional love of light back from the heart and out the crown chakra, all the way back. And as you're this perfectly balanced being of light, you could visualize and imagine yourself as a light being, a light body. And if you were to visualize and imagine yourself above the planet, you'd see these little light bulbs that are not only turning on, but turning up and getting brighter. We're going to use our energies together to raise the vibration of the planet as she turns on and up. You can visualize and imagine that anything that may be considered a lower vibration, we're sending it unconditional love so that it can be transmuted and transcended. Now, as you bring yourself back, sending gratitude to Mother Earth and Father Sky, pull the energies back to your physicalness, closing any kind of portals in for the protection of yourself. Visualize and imagine that you have the archangels, masters, guides that are all around you, assisting you in this work for your protection. And we bring everything back to the present moment of now. And as you take some deep breaths in and out, you start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. You start to feel your arms and legs, and you're bringing yourself back to the present moment, rested, revitalized, and better than before. And now you're back with your current conscious awareness, with the gifts that you brought to yourself. And know that there's a connection with all of the people on the planet and the high sources of creation that you can always return to just by re-listening to this, or even just simply going within and remembering this particular moment, how it felt. And you bring yourself back to the present moment, opening your eyes, being wide awake, refreshed, revitalized, and better than before.
Everybody take a deep breath. And just take that in for a second. That was wonderful. I feel really good. I almost fell asleep. Oh my gosh. Felt really good. I'm hoping that Joe is going to put more of those over on his channel, because I know people need it. People need the peace. And, you know, his voice, he has a very good voice. It's very smooth. It's very relaxing. He could really help a lot of people. So make sure you please sub to both of his channels, because he's a very gifted energy healer.
And Cindy's going to do a ding for us, I think. I see it. It's right in her lap. There we go.
Okay. Deep breath. You know, happy thoughts, you guys. Happy thoughts. You know the rules. Here we go. Thank you so much, Lindsay. We appreciate that a lot. And I just want to make a note after Joe's meditation. I pay close attention to my tuning forks and when they make different patterns. But I can tell you the first ding was a lot clearer than it usually is. Many times when I hit that first ding, it feels like it's going through a wall of energy. But it's like what Joe did is he opened up that energy and he allowed for this to penetrate. So this will be good.
Yeah, you know, if there's anybody in the chat that experienced anything that you'd like to share, because sometimes that helps other people come out and be like, wow, I really felt this, or I saw this. If you're brave enough to come out, put it on the chat. And, you know, I'm going to actually ask Mike and Cindy if they felt anything through this while, you know, people are, you know, putting something in the chat, if you actually felt anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, as far as me feeling something, it didn't take too long before my body says, you have stepped out of flight, because I'm very flighty. You know, I'm always like on guard. And it's just like when I step in to start doing my meditations and mantras, it just took a minute before I was like all calm. It was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I was getting a lot of what Cindy calls baby breath colors. Pastels coming through, and one kind of clunk and shift as the consciousness felt like it wanted to lift up and over out of the body.
Yes. I mean, a lot of really good things. So it was very helpful. And, you know, these things, you might not have the healings in that moment. It might be later on. So you might want to kind of pay attention to how things are going, you know, over the next couple of days. A lot of times your life is a lot brighter, or there might be some things you have to face.
Yeah, you know, the other thing that I've seen in the past is it's not always a physical healing. Sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's like a psychiatric, sometimes things come up, that really need to be looked at so that you can heal from it. It's not always an easy process to go within and look at yourself. I mean, that was the hardest thing for me. I mean, it was easy to judge somebody else, but to judge yourself, I mean, I cried like a baby when I went through this process. And some of the things that I was holding on to, it was like an onion, and these layers were coming off. And I'm like, what in the heck am I crying about? Like, and then it just came up. It came to the surface. It came to fruition. Like, whoa, I didn't realize I was carrying that, and it was really holding me down and holding me back from my highest potential.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's about that, looking at yourself and being able to see where you can do better and keeping your own side of the street clean when you look at yourself. Don't, like, if you've done something wrong, or you could have done better, don't justify it by saying, oh well, that person, boom, then you're not keeping your side of the street clean. Just recognize yourself. Very, very important for healing, because you don't know what you don't know, and until you take a good hard look at yourself, there's a lot of things that you might be missing when you're looking at someone else.
So, Robbie Berry says, thank you guys. That was awesome. Bovial Hazard. I teared up. I wanted to cry. Didn't quite. Feet were tingling up to my thighs. Some pains in my heart and throat. A tap on my right shoulder. Truth Co-op Diana. I almost fell over with the energy. Thought I was about to levitate. Andy sings, can still hear the dings within. Thank you, Cindy. Super awesome. I saw lots of bright, warm colors, yellow, green, orange, purple, and pink. Paulo TLC. I visualized extremely bright pillars of lights around the world. I think that was the energy coming down, shining on our collective. Mary Davidson smelled pizza.
No! Wow. Yay!
Oh, Xenomorph. That's what I saw at the end. So many bright pillars of light shooting from the earth, being each of us. Miles Morales, dear brother, healing the inner child. I still hear the stings too. Enigma says, this may sound stupid, but I saw the Matrix, only it rolled right to left, not like on the movie. I actually saw the code. No, I wouldn't say that's stupid at all. Angela, I had a vision that I got a call this week for an apartment back home. Thank you. That's awesome. So, yeah, Robbie can breathe better. Awesome. Feel much calmer. My stomach has some relief. And yeah, I saw other comment earlier about relief from pain. Pain had gone away, chronic pain. So, again, we'll do this more often, guys, in case you haven't noticed. As long as we have Joe with us, he does make things more powerful and also takes some of the pressure off. It's nice to have three people navigating this and guiding this. We do plan on doing a lot more lives, and so we'll keep moving forward and keep sharing new ideas, new meditations, new visualizations, new healings, and because now is the time when we really got to go full court press on getting things ready for a new age. It is a new age. It's a new era. It's time for all new things and better things.
Indeed.
I'm sitting here going, you guys are so awesome because you are all part of this. Like, we're all tuned in together. We're all connected because we are. We just don't know we are. And here, all this energy that was raised, it wasn't one person. And in fact, I'm only the tool that allows the energy to flow freely through me and the verbiage that comes out. But we're all connected. We're tuning in, leveling up. We're all a part of this same thing. So thank you guys for your part in raising the vibration.
Thanks for doing this with us. We couldn't do it without you.
Absolutely. Again, sometimes opposites attract, but likes definitely will come together as the resonance is going to be pulling us together into all new tribes on this planet. But we have to keep in mind that bigger picture, that we are all part of one thing, one living, breathing organism. All of us are a part of that. So yes, thank you guys for sharing this time, space, and love.
Source bless and namaste.
Sending